Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Adam here. We are launching a probe to land on the surface of the Mun. This is basically the design here. It's got fixed solar panels. I had to build it kind of large because I only have these universal storage versions of some of the sensors that I want to use still. Can we get any useful information? I mean, we might as well. I'm not going to do it right now. So we have not made orbit. Why have we not made orbit? What is... Oh, because of the stage. So let's say that I was not paying attention. We should have plenty of fuel here. Looking at our fuel stats here, we have a total delta V of about 4,000 still left. And we're almost in orbit here. So we're going to have about 3,000 left to do the transfer, the established orbit, and do the landing, which is more than enough. I wanted to have a little wiggle room because I'm going to have to do this. Mostly, I'm going to have some automated assists, but unlike a real probe, a lot of this is going to have to be manual. So I just wanted to be absolutely sure that we were going to be in good shape. You know what? We don't need that antenna deployed right now. Let's go ahead and target Kerbal. And we're going to activate that one right now. I'm going to have to put one of the bigger fixed dishes on this thing if we send one out to Minmus. So that might wait a little while until we have a network established. The Mun is my main focus right now. Are we even going to make orbit here? Or I think my timing got a little screwed up because of the staging when I was talking there. Well, whatever. We're in orbit. It's an ugly orbit, but it's an orbit. That's what counts. How is our power situation going? We're definitely in the sun, but we're chewing through the power anyway because of the terrible nature of this. So, unfortunately, I pretty much have to swing around this way to get those solar panels exposed. Does the power go up then? Oh my goodness, I think we're using power even with... Let's deactivate the dish. I did not put enough solar panels on this thing. That's going to be tricky. Tricky. So we'll have to be careful about how we handle this, I guess. We'll activate this antenna. That gives us 250 million meters, so as long as we kind of babysit this thing, we can probably get it out to where it needs to be. I'm not really going to be able to time this the way I would ideally like to, which would be that we arrive when I know we're going to... What is going on? Remove the node, create node. When we're going to have satellite coverage from our one satellite in orbit there, but I don't really have the ability to time that very well, so I'm not even going to worry about it too much. Do I want to go into this orbit? Yeah, we'll do it. Because at some point, we'll be able to reactivate the big dish, even if we're not in exact range of that, because this will come into range of the satellite at some point, I would think. Hopefully remote tech isn't going to mess our day up too bad here. How is our battery situation doing now? It's scary. It's very scary. Everything uses so much electricity. I should have thought of that and put those bigger solar panels on here, but I didn't. We'll be turning off the mech jeb and everything when we get en route there too, so even though it doesn't really matter, let's go ahead and deactivate that antenna. That will save a tiny bit of power, and I'll try to keep this thing facing the sun on the way over there. I'm going to leave that up so I can actually see what's going on with our power, though. Wish this engine generated electricity, but you can't have it all, I suppose. I should have slapped some of those really big flat solar panels on this part of the body. That would have actually been a pretty good idea. Darn it. I didn't check to see if the decoupling force was down on that. Oh well, we'll be hopefully in the Mun's, on the trajectory down to the Mun by then anyway, so it won't matter. So I'm trying to decide if I should even bother turning that dish on or not, or just trust in the other satellite catching us. Let's try to turn vaguely towards the... This is confusing. It's not so confusing if I don't look at the screen, but that should be in the sun, I would think. Alright, and let's just turn everything MechJeb related off. Save a little bit of power that way. Turn off this. And start a warping. Are we facing the sun? Here comes the sun. Okay, so that will charge back up. We're going to leave communications range here at some point soon. And just have to hope that the moon catches us. Maybe. I mean, this antenna has what, like 1 point something million. Yeah, there we go. We're out of range now. Let's check the map, see how we're doing with our transfer. Should be coming into range of that satellite at some point. And we did. Awesome. And I think we'll probably still be in range when we get to the point where we're circularizing. Why does it always do that? It defaults to the Apple apps. It's like, no, I do not want that. Do not want. And solar still looking good. Should probably be checking to see if we're actually in range of any science while we're doing all this, but I'm just focused on not crashing right now. Alright, where is our satellite? Our friendly neighboring satellite is... Uh-oh. 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 Damn you, satellite! Is it going to come around? Oh man, that is not going to come around until we're pretty far out. I should have gone into a polar orbit and done a polar landing. Would have had a better chance of having satellite coverage. Darn it. I need you, satellite. Save the day. And let's bring up our Delta V, because this is going to matter a lot more now. Where's my Delta V? There it is. Like, why is... Some of this is in alphabetical order, some of it is not, and I'm still not used to the order here. Okay, okay, okay. Easy does it. Easy does it. So we probably want to do some burning this way, and then some burning this way. Would you please... Sometimes these maneuvers are so irritating. How much Delta V did we just waste? That's actually not the disaster that I thought it was going to be. Let's go ahead and execute node. That is not nearly as catastrophic as I had feared. Priority is going to be... I have the money. I should probably start sending some communication satellites out here. We could probably cover the mun pretty well with 3 of them. Because if we're going to be doing stuff like this, it's kind of scary and hard to get everything done correctly if I can't communicate half the time. And most of our stuff is going to be equatorial that we're doing, so we're going to have to kind of choose our landing based on where we can get signal. I'm going to have to do my burn for lowering my periapsis. I could probably actually do that pretty soon here, because we're going to be pretty much in a circular orbit, so it doesn't really matter that much where we do the burn from. We still have 527 meters of Delta V in this. So let's, while we still have range of that, because then by the time we get over to our Apple apps, we should have range. Yeah, because if we set them this way, then we'll definitely have range. So we're gonna burn from our periapse and remove that node. Actually, I want to do this with the node editor because it's going to be easier. Change our Apple apps to, let's say, 50 kilometers. Create the node at what? Change Apple apps at the next periapse cannot be low. Why? Why can it not be lower than that? And why is the camera freaking out on me? Fine, I'll just make the maneuver myself. I don't care. $300. go for like 20. That's good. Execute my node. And this is, we're probably going to be able to get our orbit circularized and maybe even start our descent with this stage. That's good news. Man, we are chewing through some electricity right now, though. Because none of the solar panels have solar exposure right now. So this satellite dish was superfluous. I gotta remember that. There's literally no point in having that dish on there. Alright, burn complete. And let's circularize at the next periapsis. Execute node. Will we still be in satellite range? It looks like we will, possibly. It's very hard to tell. Because that satellite's kind of whipping around pretty quick here. If not, we will be on some orbit. I'm gonna move this. Sorry about the clicking there, but the little printer tray is open on my printer. It's bugging me. Let's see if we actually come around. I think the timing on this is going to be pretty good. Satellite connection reestablish, you stupid moon. Well, we'll go around again and see if we can get it. So I will be back when we... Oh, it was like right past... Okay, you know what? That is actually well and truly close enough. I don't really care if we waste a little bit of fuel doing this suboptimally. What matters now is just getting it done. Although that's putting us into a crazy kind of orbit. Let's put this like a minute out so we have time to adjust it. You know what? Good enough. No, not good enough. Because I don't want to be that low because we'll smack into a mountain. That's good enough. And then when we have both satellite range, sun and a reasonable landing site, we'll make the landing approach then. Whew. Stressful. Let's see what we've got for available science. None of this is anything that I particularly want to do. I guess we can do the magnetometer scan. Magnometer, not magnetometer. Toggle sensors. I don't like that door being open. It's confusing. Let's log the data. We'll transmit that when we actually land because we'll be taking another scan, and I want to make sure that we don't use all of our power transmitting that. Anyway, I am going to warp around until I get in a place where the satellite's hanging over our head and it looks like we can land. So I'll be back in a little bit. Actually, it looks like our best chance is probably coming up right now because the satellite's going to be over us for a long time. We'll have the entire descent of satellite coverage and we're at a pretty low point in our orbit anyway. Now, it's hard to tell what kind of terrain we're looking at down there, but I'm kind of thinking of aiming for that crater there. I think that's the Great Crater. I don't remember the names of any of these. So let's go ahead and add a maneuver. We'll like overshoot just a bit because we're going to be killing a lot of vertical speed and all that. So we'll overshoot and the MUN is rotating. Close this down because we don't need the distraction. We want our delta V up. We don't need maneuver. We want smart ass and we definitely want the translatron. And let's face retrograde. Actually, just get over to the maneuver is really just there for my own visualization of what's going on here. I'm not going to execute the maneuver exactly, but so we have 268 left in this stage here. Now the danger here, we might end up getting behind a canyon wall. Maybe we should land just short of that actually, because I don't want to end up getting behind the wall of the crater and not having satellite contact. I just realized that is a potential thing that could happen. So let's take a little bit more aggressive of an angle here. Try to aim just outside of the crater. This is going to be a little bit of a steep trajectory, but we got this. Maybe. If we're in the sun here, I should probably start transmitting some of our science back just in case. Are we in the sun? Yeah, let's go ahead and... Where's the science we collected? Let's transmit that just to be on the safe side since we're working on this. So, when do we want to start killing our vertical speed? I'm not sure. Let's get surface up. I know it's more efficient to do a suicide burn, but I'm trying to kind of spot where we're going to land and everything too. Well, we might as well just burn off some speed using this stage, and then we can discard this stage. Can we get this going surface velocity? Get rid of that stupid maneuver. So we start falling down more or less. Alright, we've gotten rid of that. Let's go ahead and say goodbye. I'm in a little bit of a panicked state here, not gonna lie. I'm going to optimistically deploy our landing gears. And keep working on burning off some of that velocity, because I kind of like this as a landing spot, to be honest. Yeah, I kind of like this a lot as a landing spot right in this area. So this is not going to be the ideal, most efficient burn in the history of the world, but hopefully it will get us down in one piece. Alright, let's call that good. Let's keep this pointing up and down, I suppose. Kill horizontal. Can we not execute that? Whatever. I want surface info, not that right now. So we can see how far above the ground we actually still are. I kind of sort of want to burn... Let's turn this off for a second. Kind of want to turn... Which way is this? No, actually, I'm not happy with that. Whatever. We're just going down. I'm not going to try to do anything crazy here. It's just going to end in tears. With the engine firing a tiny, tiny, tiny bit here. Let's ramp it up. I know this is terribly inefficient of me, but I don't care. I just care about getting down in one piece. So we still have 3,000. Let's start burning a little bit more. I don't know how good these landing gear are, like what they're good for an impact. 2,600. 2.5. Oh, we're ascending a little bit. I wasn't paying attention to my surface speed. .3. Let's cut thrust. Just fall a little bit more. When we hit about 1,000, we'll start slowing down again. Stressful landing stuff. Like, I haven't done this in so long. We're gonna be right on the edge of that crater. Alright, let's get a little bit of the burn going here. Where's the sun at? Where's my shadow gonna be? My shadow's gonna be over this way. Hopefully we'll spot the shadow. I kind of feel like I know what I'm doing, which is always dangerous in this sort of situation. 380. Got thrust again. $300. The engine just puffing away. Oh, this is kind of a little more gentle than I would like. This is taking forever, but I don't want to be impatient and have that cause issues, which often does for me. Alright, cutting thrust. A little bit more. A little bit more. Boom. Broke something, but we landed. What did we break? One landing gear because the ground wasn't entirely even. Well, I'll take that. Or two landing gear, perhaps. Let's turn that off. As long as the thing's down here, that's what matters. Oh, I'm going to take a moment to enjoy that. Should have given a little bit more thrust at the end there, but whatever. Pressure data. This thing... How much delta V did we have left? 800. That's a lot. I could have been a lot more crazy with the thrusting, but whatever. Let's get our data. Trying to watch my battery power. It doesn't really matter. I guess it will eventually transmit whether or not. Boom. Transmit. What? Yeah, that's fine. This thing's a one-way shot anyway. And I think that's all of the different things that we actually had on here. Can we do telemetry? We can't do telemetry or anything. So yeah, that's everything we had on here. So this probe has done its job. I guess it will observe surface conditions for a while here on the Mun, and I don't think there's anything else at all we can really do with it. I guess we're done with that. Did we complete our missions? What did we get? We got a bunch of money for sending data from the surface. We explored the Mun, got a bunch more money. Explore the Mun. Land on the Mun. More stuff for that. And something got destroyed because they never ever land. But anyway, this guy will just sit here. We need to give him a name while he's here. He's going to be Mun Probe 1, I guess we'll do. And I actually kind of like this landing site. It's not terrible. It's slopey, but the moon is always so pretty. Really do like it. I want a rover out here pretty bad. You can zoom way out. So yeah, it's always like a lot less flat than it actually you think it's going to be too. It's like it seemed like it was relatively flat from up there, but then when the detailed texture loads in, it's always a lot more crooked than it looks. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end it here. Next time we will see what. Well, you know what? Why wait till next time? I was going to say we'll see what missions we can plan for, but we can head back to the Space Center and plan for some missions. Why not? Space Center, VIP, I don't care about Taurus. Science from space around Min-Miss. We have 2 available that we can take, so we'll be careful about which ones we're going to take. Plant a flag. Well, I guess we'll take that one because it will be easy enough to do. I actually could do that right now, couldn't I? I just realized that. Couldn't I do that right now because I have a probe in orbit of Min-Miss? Like, does it have to be actual science, or can I just transmit blank science back? Because if I can transmit blank science back, well, it's probably not even blank because it's been doing all that time we were messing around with the Mun. It's been mapping, so it might even have real, genuine science to transmit back. Analyze data. It's like halfway there. We'll transmit it. How much money have we got? Yeah, that was worth doing. This satellite paid for itself already. So anyway, guys, I am really going to end it here. When we come back, we'll do something. Thanks for watching.